What's good, man? It's your boy Kash. Welcome to Cash Money Dream Podcast. We have a special guest. We normally don't do things like this, but we have a mom and a daughter on the set, and they're both have a lot to say. I think we're going to get into a topic that's going to be uncomfortable for some people, but America, society, I think a lot of people need to pay attention to what this woman has to say. She been in the world for a while. She understands motherhood. She understands how to raise children. I will not say much more, but can you please introduce yourself and where you're from? And yeah, and I know you got your daughter with us. So what is your name?
My name is Harmony Black. I'm from
Harmony Black. I like it.
I'm from Idaho.
Okay.
I was born and raised there. Lived the majority of my life there, other than going to college in here, Phoenix, Arizona. So I spent 7 years here. And I'm 58.
58. You know, me and him was talking about this. We know we're not supposed to talk about women ages, but we were speaking on like, I wonder how old she is. Because I was telling him 53. And
yeah,
he was
you
like,
came up with 53.
huh?
Yeah, you came up with 53, but I think you were basing it off of her daughter's ages and try to figure it out.
But I was close. You look younger.
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem. So, your turn.
My name is Sierra. I'm from, where am I from? New Mexico. Las Cruces, I think it is. Never was sure about that.
How the hell did you get to New Mexico?
Yeah, why
Did you
asking
just stay
me?
there? Was you just visiting? Was you
we lived
visiting?
there?
No, I moved there with Intel because I worked
Oh,
for
okay.
Intel here. And
Okay.
then I transferred over there.
Did you have any kids?
So I'm a
you
New
had her?
Mexican, just me, all by myself.
Yeah,
Mexican.
she was my last one.
Okay. Was that? What did it happen here or did it happen in New Mexico?
I had her in New Mexico, in Rio Rancho.
So she was working there. She
Okay.
was living there.
But was the seed?
He's got it.
Was the seed planted in Arizona or was it planted in New Mexico? That's what
Here.
I'm going to. Okay.
That doesn't mean nothing.
It means everything. It means everything. I want to know where your mom was, because she say she moved to New Mexico and she met a husband or a boyfriend or whatever. I want to know what was the difference of the culture
She
of
was
New
already
Mexico.
married to my dad by the time she got there.
Okay.
She had 2 other daughters with him.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into all that concept.
Mhm.
So anyway, I know your business.
Yes.
Real quick, you got your information? You want to give it out real quick?
Yes, I own a couple cars and I rent them out. You can find me at kiss_motorsports on Instagram, or you can find me personally at beautiful with 2 L's Bell. So yeah, give me a shout out if you need any cars.
If you need a rental and you in the city, holler at her. We'll have her information on the platform. And just getting into a real quick conversation, swapping it real quick. So you're 58. You've been on this planet for a while, and I guess what was it like growing up? Because what is your nationality? I mean, for the world they say white, but what is your nationality?
I'm 60% German.
German.
I have Scottish, Irish, Welsh,
Yeah, you got all the white races.
some Norwegian,
Everyone.
some French.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oui.
See.
Okay. Well, that's Spanish. But so, growing up, I mean, 60% German. That's crazy, right? So that means was it your mother?
My
from
mother
Germany?
was 100%.
And you have how many daughters?
6.
6. All mixed.
Correct.
How was that growing up? So I guess the question is, what made you go to the dark side?
I don't think it was a conscious choice. My favorite actors when I was little were Sidney Poitier,
Okay.
Bill Cosby, when he played in I Spy.
Are you still a Bill Cosby fan, though? Yes or no?
Bruh.
I like his work. If what they say about him is true, that's
It's kind of messed up.
very messed up. But I
I
always liked
think
his
they're
work.
attacking him like Trump. I don't be somewhere in the 80s or 70s doing these things, and then 30 years later. But it's, hey, if you're a victim, you're a victim. Every victim deserves justice. We aren't on this platform telling people, hey, we support anything when it comes to sexual or domestic violence or drugging women. Even though there's women out there
I knew you were gonna say.
who are in an industry that has admitted to drugging men and robbing them and still have a successful career. It's unfortunate. But hey, shout out to the world and the system we live in. But anyway, getting back to the talent and actors and artists that you like, was it when did you realize, I guess when you was at a certain age, that you was more into the black side, or dark side, chocolate, Oreo, Hershey, Reese cup? Is there a light skin? Do you like darker, or what do you like?
The blacker.
The blacker.
The blacker, the better
No.
for this one.
No, I actually go for the man. I go for their personality. I go for smiles and eyes,
Right.
because eyes are the windows to the soul. So I look at a person as a whole. I think we all have our preferences of who we go for as far as their physical attributes or their personality wise. I like confident men that have swag. You know, they have their own way.
So would you date Michael Jackson? Is that type of swag you like? Or did you like Prince? Who's your choice?
Prince?
Prince?
Absolutely.
The Hobbit that was 5'2". I mean, he was a talented dude. I love Prince.
He was.
I always just thought he was short.
He was short.
But you said you like dark and handsome. He was light skinned too. He was like the light skinned Chris Brown. What's going on here?
I'm not. Like I said, I mean, she thinks I like dark, but
you do so it you but truthfully, you like black men. Like, you like the culture, you like the style.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
But growing
That's because they liked me first.
Why did they like you first? Because you was an athlete?
I was a gymnast.
Was
and
you?
So I
Oh man, so you had the how tall was you?
I'm 5'3",
You was 5'3"? What did you weigh when you was an athlete?
155.
Okay, so you was kind of like men seen it. So I can guarantee you the white guys didn't like that, did they?
No, they
They
wanted
didn't?
the skinny white girls.
They wanted the skinny white girls.
Uh-huh.
So growing up and you being attracted by a lot of black males, did that cause controversy within the family, or like, how did people judge that?
Oh yes, I had cousins who also dated black men.
What era was this?
This was
80s.
This was the 80s.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it difficult? Did you care about the judgment?
I didn't care as much as, I mean, it could be uncomfortable because people would say things like, "There goes the neighborhood."
So they'll use a racial.
Yes.
Say that goes the neighborhood.
What would make me mad? I mean, they could say things to me and I could just brush them off. If they hurt my friends' feelings, my
Right.
black friends' feelings, that's what would get me riled up.
Okay. So, was there anybody that ever like came at you disrespectfully, racially? Like, what the heck are you doing? What are you guys holding hands? Why are you together?
Yes, usually, I mean, there were people that I had like biblical arguments because they were trying to tell me that biblically I'm not supposed to be with, outside my race. And I said, well, you don't understand what the Bible is saying. It's talking about outside your religion, not outside your race.
So they will use the Bible as saying that race should be separated?
Yes.
Yeah, they crazy.
And just to verify, this was in Idaho?
It started in Idaho.
But I can imagine being white and dealing with black children, because now you have 7, right?
Right. I had my first My first 2 in Idaho.
Right.
And then I had the next 4 in Arizona.
Okay.
And then I had my last in New Mexico.
How many baby fathers?
4.
Okay. All black?
Yes.
All tall, chocolate? No light skin? You had a Ray Charles?
My first was light skin.
Okay.
He was
So
Creole.
she did get her prince.
He was Creole.
So he's Creole or more, what we call mulatto.
No, he was Creole.
He was really Creole.
He was actual Creole.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So my oldest daughter's father is. Yeah.
And at the time you was having children, was you already in your career? Well, because I remember you said you was an engineer, right?
Yeah. I was a nail tech at that point because I was just like taking a break from school. But then when I got pregnant with my 3rd son, I started college.
Okay. So, jumping up real quick, are you still married right now?
No.
No? Or is it different from the 80s to the 90s of dating up to what it is today? Or has it, are men still, I guess my question would be, it seems like when you're single and you're older, right? You have more, is it more options?
Most definitely.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not a chaser. I don't.
You don't think
I don't
you should chase a
believe.
man?
No, I don't
What?
believe you should pursue a man.
Oh man, I gotta educate you on that one.
No, I've never pursued a man. I've never seen a man and go, okay.
I'm gonna have him. He got a question or two for you, but I'm gonna break down something real quick. Can I do that?
Okay.
Are you gonna listen to me?
I'm listening.
All right. I don't want this no more.
Okay.
All right, let me set my mic up because this is going to be very interesting. You guys are following Cash Money Dream Podcast. Your boy Cash, and we here, and I'm not going no man. I'm not going nowhere, man. And I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna say this as nice as I can, and I'm gonna say clearly because women are so important and critical to man's future. A woman is critical to a man's future, but you are educated, correct?
Yes.
You went to school, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, you applied after you graduated to that job, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You didn't start at the highest position in college, did you? Right? Like, I mean, once you graduated, once you got your job, they didn't put you at the VP position.
No.
Right?
Absolutely.
You got to work your way up.
Right.
Right? And the same thing when you buying a house. You bought a house before, correct?
Yes.
Did you pick the house you wanted and say this was it? Or did somebody choose it for you?
I chose it. I bought it on by
You bought
myself.
a car too before, right?
Mm-hmm.
You chose the car, right? The only thing I'm saying, what I'm getting to, my point is very simple. Women must understand when you're going into the world and you want to have the best option for your future, you must select the man. If a woman waits for a man and let the man chase her, she's going to end up with the worst of the worst. The men who chase are simps. Those are guys who are weak-minded that have an illusion. They play Houdinis where they bring out hets and they bring a whole bunch of different tricks out. They will act like they love you. They will play the part, and then one day they end up leaving. Or they end up, and you find out they was lying the whole time. See, but if a woman goes out just like she buys a house, so she gets educated, or she go buy a car, she treats it the same way as going and looking for the best available man. It's biological nature. Deers who go look for bucks, the buck don't look for the deer. They fight. The deer looks at who's the champion, and all the deers mates with that one guy. There's a reason for that. And I think women shoot themselves in the foot because if I put you in a lineup of 100 guys and you just wait for the weirdest guy to come up to you, the weirdest guy's going to come up to you. The guy who thinks he's a king will never approach you. Ever. And the reason why is because queens are brought to kings. Right? And all I'm saying is for every woman to get a high value man, she must go out and find him. It's hard. Can a guy come up and approach you and talk to you sweetly and be kind and gentle? Does it work? Yes. But I just think in this day and age, that era is dead. The way men court women or the way they approach them is not the same that they did in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. I think women who truly want to be the best of themselves, they must find the guy that match their energy. If you wait for the guy who matches your energy, how do you know he's the same if he's the right guy?
But if you pursue a man, how do you know that he's really into you.
I mean, because a man actually will deal with a woman who chases him. Trust me. When rappers or celebrities or actors go look at the women they marry. They mostly marry into the women that look for them or found them. They're not marrying somebody from the family. They actually out touring the world, and that's how they know what girl they like. I mean, it's not the same thing of music, but if you're working at a company, let's prove a point. If somebody works in a company, most people who work in a company 15, 20 years, there's a high rate of them marrying within the company by dating the person they worked with. Do you disagree or agree with that?
I will not date anybody I work with.
Okay.
So.
Well, if you look at the billionaires, their wives was employees or some type of person in a job or in the same field where they connected and met through meetings, and they marry in within somebody of their same Tinder. All I'm saying is this, very simple. If a woman's out there at 24 right now, the greatest thing you can do is look for your husband. Why would you wait for a guy to come up to you at a bar or a library or a gas station? That guy's a bum. Guys who have money and value do not chase women. They just don't. Guys with high value, they don't chase women because women come to them. Men have options. The guy's not going to go chase. Now, if you're a high value woman, do you I'm just saying, do you guys think if Beyonce was single right now, a guy will have the balls to go up to her, or she going to go out and pick the guy she wants?
I think both. I think there might be a guy that has the balls, and that's the guy that
Shoot.
she wants, because if he
Do
does,
guys,
then he got the
when
most
they come up to you,
confidence.
now, what do you do when the white guys come up to you? Do you deal with white guys at all?
I mean, I'm polite to anybody who
But
comes
do you,
to talk to me.
a white guy, Justin, he want to come up to you and say, you know what I'm saying, I'm a golfer, I'm retired, I'm 65, he's 6'2", would you be interested? Or that's not your cup of tea? What if he plays Ray Charles? He has Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I mean, I have given white men, I went out on dates.
Yeah.
And but they
Is
have
it not
to
the
have more
same?
to them. No, it's not.
I know it's not. Thank you. Tell the world. let the world know, because a lot of people in our comments gonna be talking crap. Like, black women be offended when a white girl conquers a black man. And when I say conquer, don't take it out of, what I'm saying is when a woman dates a man and they have a children and they're two different cultures, it changes the history books.
Possibly, but that's also what I was saying. I've had high value men
Right.
come and chase me. I just didn't want their lifestyle, so I said no.
Exactly.
But,
and what is that lifestyle? What is the high value man's lifestyle? The what?
Well, they were just. I didn't
Too
want
many
to
others?
be. I didn't want to be a pro baller's wife or girlfriend,
Right.
and have to deal with that lifestyle.
So did you want to be the 9-to-5er? Because if you mess with a pro athlete, you're retired.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And I was in college.
Right. So the guys
I had them coming at me, and I'm in college trying to finish college, get my career going.
Right.
So I was like,
do you think you care more about the career than thinking of a wifey position?
If
because you was more career driven at the time.
I was very career driven.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that means I think you said you can outlift certain guys.
I could.
Jesus.
I could back in
You're a sip if you can't outlift a woman. I just got to say that.
Are you serious? We should try to go to the gym.
You
want to
take
see
me
what you
gym?
can lift.
Oh man, you think you will outlift me?
I don't know. We could see.
Stop the cap.
Exactly. I'll jump off the cliff if I get outlifted by a female.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is never gonna happen.
Can you? Okay.
I will fast 60 days if I get beat by a woman. I would.
Emotional, damn it.
Can you hold yourself in a plank for a minute?
No, I probably can't do that. But we ain't talking about that. We talking about lifting. I will outlift you on my toes, my fingers, and even
your
my
toes.
tongue.
Yeah,
even my
right.
tongue.
Your tongue.
Yes.
Bet we're on it.
So
anyway.
So the point what I'm making is the racial dynamic. Was it the same issues that you had in Idaho, that went to Arizona, that went to New Mexico? Was they always looking at you?
Not in Arizona. Even back then, Arizona, it wasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was like white pride,
right?
And
you didn't believe in white pride. Did you associate with any of that stuff?
No, but I had some guys come up and talk to me, and I would use those opportunities to educate them.
What would you say as far as educating them? How would you
Well,
educate
they were
them?
the ones that, tried to say, well, the Bible says. And I said, well, did you realize Moses' wife was Ethiopian?
I mean, all
Most
these people from the Bible comes
Ethiopians-
from Africa or Egypt, some type
Right.
of place. So I think when you get into society and you break it down, they're offended because the history books tells you the truth.
Right.
But society of Europeans wanted to destroy it because they wanted to hide identities.
Correct.
They wanted to hide everybody's identity. They didn't want to show who was the true power. But even Julius Caesar spoke it. I mean, Cleopatra was African. She was Egyptian. Rome was against it. Even though she committed suicide because she didn't want, it was just an honorable thing to do back then was people kill themselves than be taken or be embarrassed by the hand of the sword. But I guess my question to you and your daughter will be very simple. Like, growing up, obviously, she grew up in New Mexico and Arizona, or did you grow up in Arizona mostly?
Grew up in Idaho.
Idaho. So did you have any racial issues while you was growing up? Did they come to you and say, what's up, Tatiana? Did you have those issues?
I didn't have any issues, but
So-
I was definitely one of the only black kids in my school.
Did you get they treat you good in the school?
I had friends, yeah.
Always, nothing like issues?
No, not with me, really.
Not with you? What about
Probably,
your sisters?
I don't know. Thinking probably she could tell you
Most-
better.
You never had a
Mostly-
parent issue where they treated her a certain way?
I mean,
You know how parents come in and it's like, oh, my child never had that?
I was
No.
I was a very good child.
Okay.
I mean, my son had most of the issues in Idaho. And
That's crazy. And I knew this.
And my girls, my older daughter had a lot of problems at school. It was the teachers and the adults, like the bus drivers, that were very prejudiced.
Right.
The kids were cool. I mean, my girls were really popular.
I believe it.
My son was really popular with other kids.
I mean, when you were like Stephen Curry, you're going to be popular. I'm just saying.
Nobody knew who
It
they
is what
were.
it is. You in an all-white state. I mean, what's the percent of whites and
I
black
don't
in
know,
that
but
state?
they want to be
It's
friends with
less
the
than
black people.
1%.
Less than 1% of black people? That's crazy.
Well, I mean, right now they finally started getting a little bit more of a population after the pandemic, but it's
Yeah,
always been a smaller, like a lot of smaller towns there.
They brought a lot of immigrants into Idaho.
Yeah,
A lot of people from
all them
California.
Californians went all over the place. And
Yeah.
that was one of the here and there were like the two, I think,
Correct.
the places that they went the most.
Yeah,
But you did have some issues with racial, right? Both of you had to.
I'm sure there was, but if there wasn't, I'm not paying attention. I'm a child. I'm just like whatever.
Okay. I guess because I truly, for me, I don't know. People have bad comments or people have their opinions, but I think America is not divided as they say they are. They lie to us on so many platforms and positions where even Trump says it. Fake news.
You are fake news.
So the difference between that is what are we talking about? Are we really talking about a divided country? Because you being white, she's being mixed. I mean, and a lot of people also get mad. Like I tell her all the time, she at her age, she could be an actress right now and she can kill it. She has the opportunity to change the world. But a lot of women will say darker, the light skin are winning. Women are winning, and there's a I don't know what the word is. They call it a colored issue, but they attack the women who are light skinned, who are successful in career and acting compared to a darker skinned woman, and I don't know. Do I see it? Maybe it is when it comes to executive producers and stuff like that. They may say, "Hey, we want the light skinned girl instead of the dark girl." So, like, was you as friends? Would they always? I guess when you went to high school, was you a cheerleader?
No,
You wasn't a cheerleader. You didn't want to cheerlead.
no, I was in the sports. I was a tomboy.
You was a
I
tomboy.
was doing soccer. Yeah.
Oh, man, so you like Vanilla Ice?
Yeah.
What do you mean tomboy?
What?
Who did you look like? You mean you
I
was a
look like
tomboy?
anything. I wore like soccer shorts to school.
That's
and
horrible. You
stuff.
let her go to school like that?
She-
I was already at work by the time they went to school.
She was looking like a boy.
Yeah, I would have like a girl top on, but then like a guy shorts. I don't know. And then I had like this body when I was in high school.
So you was
I
trying to
had-
hide it?
No, I had to wear like two sports bras just to try to hold my boobs in because they were
Was the
so
boobs
big.
always big?
Always, my whole life.
Since she was in 6th grade.
She had boobs since 6th grade? Damn, I wish I had you in 6th grade.
Bruh.
6th grade? Jesus.
Yeah, it was serious.
I mean, that's crazy. You was already purchasing.
Bras. They had to tell her to buy me a bra in like elementary. I remember that.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of my daughters, people would think that they were older. They'd be in grade school, and I'd have guys follow us around stores asking them, what are you majoring in? I'm like, elementary school? What? And they would seriously thought all my girls were in college.
Is it crazy though to
elementary.
walk around with 7 black children being white by yourself sometimes? Was that crazy for you at all?
I would have to, we would walk into a store and
When
I
would
would
they-
see security come up to my kids and start following my kids. And I'd have to say, excuse me, I've got my children. Oh, what? Yeah, these are my children. I'll keep an eye on them.
So
You
that's-
go.
So as a woman being white and raising, was that hard to do that? Because I guess let's dig into it. Being white in America, right, where majority of white people are leading mostly certain fields in America, still today where I don't believe we are divided like they say we are, but there are still certain issues in America that we can fix. You're working around raising 7 children. Was it hard for you being white? Was that difficult?
No,
Did you have to pay more attention? Because
but
when
I did. I mean,
how did you, I guess when the cops pull them over, how did you ever have that conversation?
no, but I mean, they had to figure it out because
Did somebody,
the
like,
cops used
father-
to harass my son
I can
just walking down the street.
That's why I keep saying your son, because at the end of the day, when you're black or light skinned, they still consider us black no matter what. For a boy, it's much worse.
Yeah, they go harder for guys. That's why they it was easier for us because we're girls. So, but with my brother, he always got it racial profiled all the time.
So he got it.
Yeah,
Oh man, we should have him in the seat.
yeah.
I mean, where he's at right now is
Sacramento.
okay. So life for him must have been real tough growing up then.
It was tougher, but he was kind of I mean, special.
Did he play sports?
Yeah, he did. Didn't
Football,
he did football.
basketball?
He played football in grade school,
Okay.
but he didn't like to get hurt.
Okay.
He ran cross country.
Yeah, he
He
did,
did track.
Okay.
He was real fast.
So for him he was the one always seeing how the cops they will pursue him more than the girls. So the girls had the best life. Clueless. Was it Clueless for you guys?
Deep. I don't even know.
Was it
Our lives
Clueless?
were deep. No, we were all locked up.
What? What'd she say?
We were bad. Once I turned 13, I was good until I turned 13.
She was good till she was 13. What's she talking about? I'm confused.
So what's difficult is 1 against 7. That's what's difficult.
Okay.
The numbers outweigh you.
Right.
So whether they were white or half black or whatever, raising 7 children on your own, that was the difficult part.
Right. Was it difficult for the men to do it too? That was in your life at the time, the guys you dated?
I didn't really date a lot. I mean, I had, I think over a 20-year period, 2 husbands and 2 fiancés came into my life.
What's the longest you was married?
9
Oh,
years.
9 years. That's the one with 4?
No, he was my last husband.
Last husband?
Mm-hmm.
9 years is a long time. It's almost a decade. Was it a tough 9 years?
No, it wouldn't have ended up being 9 years if it was tough.
Okay. Because most people when they get married, 5 years is where it's at, 5 to 10 years.
In those 9 years, we argued maybe 8 times.
That's it?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good marriage. Had to shut down the door though, right? There's a reason for everything when a marriage is in.
Yes.
Was he disrespecting you? Did it get to a point where it was just no communication or anything?
He was kind of emotionally unobtainable,
Oh wow.
and when you I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're in a marriage, you should feel like you have someone there for you.
So he was not emotional available?
Yeah, he was emotionally unavailable, and
When did that start though? I guess like 9 years in. How long did it take before you get to that stage when a guy's like that?
he was always very coveted about his emotions.
Okay.
Um,
Do you feel that is a good thing or bad thing for a man? Do you think a man should be emotional?
no, but they should communicate how they feel about you.
Okay.
I mean, saying I love you,
Okay.
but not showing you
So affection.
it right.
So you need a man that was affectionate.
Yes.
Okay. I for me, I just think men should not be emotional. I think that's a woman's thing, but it depends. If it's your wife and she's going through something, then I will say yes. That's when you show emotion.
I mean, that's not
Because
the
a wife is
emotion I
different
was-
from a girlfriend
Yeah.
or
But that's not even the emotion. I need to know how you feel about me.
so that connection was losing towards the love. And this was with a brother, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Well, how long into the marriage did that begin, or was it like that since day one, and just after 9 years, enough was enough?
In the beginning, he was a lot more vocal about how he felt about me, and I felt loved. But about 4 years, 5 years into it, it just became a void. And when you don't get fed, and
The
there's
validation.
yeah, and I just felt alone, like I was living with a roommate.
Got it.
And she paid all the bills.
say that again.
She paid all of the bills.
Can we get a money
That-
sign on that?
Yeah, that didn't make it any better, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was supporting him because he was an activist, and he would help people with legal problems and things like that. And so as long as I felt that he was helping others, I didn't mind holding down the fort.
Got it.
The problem became when I found out that he was lying to me.
Simp
So
activity.
he wasn't really doing all of that.
He was
Simp
doing it, and then
activity.
after, I mean, he wouldn't come home till midnight,
Oh wow.
and it's like how many nights?
Was he doing this in the beginning though?
No.
Okay. He's a simp. I don't know if you know what that is, but
A bum.
I mean, not all simps are bums.
No, but he
But
was.
this is the problem with America when it comes to men today. I think we had this conversation privately. There's too many men becoming soft. Can you agree to this?
Yes.
And you're 58 years old. You've seen the world more than most women, most men, and you survived. And you survived with 7 black children, right?
Right.
Can we say that? And most of it, can you say maybe 50% of your life raising your kids was 50% by yourself doing it?
Oh, at least, yeah.
Okay. So the issue with a lot of men are they're this is why I'm talking about men who have value, the unicorns. These are the guys that women do not approach. The guys that approach you, 90% of them, I'm gonna say 90% of these men are bums. They have some have passions. Some want to be successful, but some have drug addictions. Some have personal mommy daddy issues. Some are offenders sexually. You know what I mean? That and you know this for a fact. This is an issue with a lot of men. And it's also because men who are raised in broken homes and women who leave relationships, 80% of you women cause and walk away from a marriage. Your children turn out to be the same men that the mothers or the grandmas are leaving. This is an issue. How do we fix this issue? Stop having divorces. If it was truthful, divorce shouldn't even exist. If you get married, you stuck for life. Those are rules we have to change. And a lot of women won't agree with that. But I would tell women, just like a man, you make a bed, you sleep in it.
I agree, unless there's abuse.
Agree, 100%. I think any woman who's being beat shouldn't be in a relationship. But if you get with a guy, didn't we have this conversation earlier? It's about vetting. Can we speak on that? Don't you think women should vet?
Oh, absolutely. I think if I had heard a podcast with you speaking when I was, say, 14, 15, 16, it changed my life. It would have changed
because it
my
gives you the
whole...
insight on how a man thinks, what he's looking for. Also, women too.
Yes. Yes, I didn't have anybody explaining to me, hey, make sure you vet these people and look towards a future with them. And then I didn't give that to my daughters either.
I think a lot of it has to do with people starting an adult life so much earlier than traditionally you would or you normally used to. And so you don't really have enough time to do all the trial and error, vet, and all of that. I mean, you're already an adult as a teenager. It's, at that point, you can't go back and redo it over again. So it is what it is.
But this is why podcasts are changing the world, and this is why ESPN fired so many people. Podcasts are the future. We could sit in our homes and we could talk with someone like you. I've never met you, and I'm happy we had a good conversation. And I appreciate your energy and the things you told me personally, Offset. I mean, to be German, her bloodline is German. Her mother was 100% German. And to sit here and have 7 black kids and to do it 50% of the time independently, where you struggle in a country that, unfortunately, is built for breaking up families and dividing us. We put racial issues out there in this world when it's really not the issues. That's not the issue. The issue is the big government. Control, manipulation, fake news, destroying us to make us hate each other when we should love each other. America should be first. America is the dream. It is the right nation. This is the power of the world. And blacks, whites, or any race can do well here or mix. That's what America should be representing. And for you to sit here and say, you know what, I did go through some stuff, but I think a lot of women are the ones becoming the breadwinners. They have to work because they have to take care of the kids. And I truly believe also that it's not easy. Men must step up to the plate and stop having families when you know you're going to destroy it.
Yeah. Well, and I never expected somebody else to take care of my kids.
And that's why I tell a lot of women it's very hard for a man to be a stepdad. And I appreciate you saying that too. Because there's a lot of women who think when they have 3, 4 kids, they still have some type of idea of treasure to the table where they can control and manipulate the relationship. Now, listen, if you come with 4 kids and a man chooses to take care of your children or take on that responsibility, I think a woman must treat him more than a king. That's a lot of work for a man. And there's some men who do it successfully. You know what I mean? But it's the few numbers. The exception doesn't make the rule. We know that the divorce rate's at its highest. We know a lot of women are single. We know a lot of men are single. What advice would you give? Because in the little time we have on the show left, what advice would you give to the young people? For someone who's been in your seat, that sat here and raised 7 beautiful daughters, someone who has struggled with dealing with black men, or even the idea of the vision towards certain issues, even with your son, what would you tell someone where there's women just like you right now that's 22, 23, probably got 2, 3 black children, and they're single?
I would tell them to listen to your podcast. Because honestly, I'll reiterate, I wish that I would have heard the wisdom that you had dropped to me, last night and this morning.
Yeah.
Or today.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that deep of information off the street.
No, you don't.
And usually not even necessarily in your own homes. I mean, years ago, your parents used to vet and set you up with your spouse.
Correct.
And that's what happened.
It's been like that since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Since you can go back to Africa. You can go back to the Babylons. Men who are powerful or have daughters, they will set their daughters up to set up kingdoms so their families can reign.
Yes.
For somehow we don't vet no more. We are telling women, we are sending women to the wolves.
See, on my Scottish side, my father's side, we go back to Queen Mary of Scots.
Right.
And the queen, her cousin was the Queen of France.
Okay.
So, that's in our lineage where we were being set up for marriage. And throughout the ages, it's like, oh, well, we'll let these people, go out and fend for themselves and pick their own. But
I think it's just a Western culture now. America's changed. Big government has controlled marriage. The divorce rate is at its highest because of government. Let's be honest. Our government controls the divorce rate. It controls the separation rate.
Oh, yeah.
How do you work? We're all Americans, women, men, children. We are slaves to America. How are we slaves to America? We work too much and we're in debt too much. Everything you have, you don't own it. Your house is not yours. Your car's not yours. Your wife ain't yours. Your husband's not yours. They're proving it, right? And the difference is every time a man pays child support, the government gets a piece of it. Every time a divorce happens, the lawyer pays, the government gets a piece of it. We're destroying nuclear family, right? And then we're dividing the home. We're putting racial issues, political issues, just for the certain families who are the rich ones. They know who they are. I don't have to say their names, the Waltz, the Bezos, the Bill Gates. Let's go. These are the guys sitting into fields that have nothing to do with their careers, investing into things in Africa that's destroying, and then going over there telling these people how they should live and not live.
Correct.
So society's changing. And with the conversation she speaks of that we had yesterday is I broke down in detail how I look at our world and how it's changing, but also how it looks at the divorce rate. Why are women divorcing husbands? Why people are so emotional? They see too much Instagram, too much social media. It's a lot. They believe everything they see on the social media platform. Women going on TikTok thinking really that they live in these life. These women are really that special. Some of these women are traveling around the world, selling their bodies, sexualizing themselves. For what?
Correct.
It wasn't like that in the 80s.
No.
Now where's that now?
No.
It wasn't even like that 10 years ago. It's as time, every year goes by, it gets worse and worse. But I have a question for the daughter. So did you say you were around 13 when you started getting into all that mess? And was there two parents in the home at the time that started?
When I was 13, I'm trying to remember.
When you was getting
Or
in
did you
trouble.
say 15? Yeah, when you started getting in trouble, how old were you again?
I was about 12, 13.
12 or 13.
When I got on probation. It was just only runaways.
But was there two parents at home?
Was there when I was 13? You remember? Because I'm trying to think of.
Was I with Chris yet?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Was your father there?
No, my dad. I didn't.
His
even
point
know
is
my
very
dad
simple.
Till I was 13.
I know what I means basically getting to, because our
Yeah.
audience is going to want to know. They're going to comment this. They're going to
Yeah.
say these things. It proves back to the point where a father is so important in the home.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, a man must be
Well,
present.
not just any father.
I mean, of
You
course,
gotta
not
be a
any
good
father.
Thank you.
Not
Not
any
just-
father, but
Thank you.
a man of responsibilities must be in the home. And the problem is, it gets back to this: men who are not in relationships where women walk away and divorce their husband. Good, congratulations, you get the house. Congratulations, you get some of the money. Congratulations, but the kids are the ones who are going to suffer. It's all about the children. So when you get married, it's no longer about you. You're no longer special. Your children are, and your legacy towards your children's future means everything. Because when you break up the home, this is the issue. When you break up the home, this is what happens. That kid is more likely to become a criminal, a pedophile, a felon. It's just a higher rate. And it's unfortunate that we have to teach this. We have to tell women, hey, vet correctly and know what your future looks like. Because if you keep just running around being a 304 and just messing with so many men where your body count, what did I tell you? 24, what their body counts up to? The women in today's world. I know this is crazy.
Oh.
Say the number.
You said what? 30 by 24?
30 by 24. And by 30, they over 100. would that be accepted where you from as a young woman growing up? If you knew a woman did that much, what would y'all do?
Yeah, that was unheard of.
Say it again.
That was unheard of.
Exactly.
Denied.
And this is the Cash Money Dream Podcast, and this is what we do. We and I appreciate you coming on the show. I really do. I appreciate having you and your daughter, even though she could have said a little bit more. She over there being quiet.
When did I have a chance?
Over here, you thug
do
life,
this to
and
me
you
every
don't want to say
time.
you ran away. You was a thug at
You did
13.
this to me every time.
I'm
You didn't
playing.
ask me. no
You're gonna
questions.
have what's your question? You got a question?
No.
You got something you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
What you want to say? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, if you had a daughter, would you let her be with a man that was with a whole bunch of other women?
Yes.
You would care. You would be like,
Yes. I think a man. I think I'm gonna tell you why. Thank you for this question. Then we can end the show. I want my daughter to be with the best leader, and I don't think leaders who slept with one or two women will be good leaders. I think a man's value is built by what his
Okay,
experiences
I'm
are.
talking about when he's with her.
No.
He could have had all the
Listen,
all the
I would tell
experience
if
before, but
I
now
had
he's with her.
if I had a daughter and my daughter was about to be 22, 23 and get married, I would tell her, listen, this is a man you have, and this is a family, and your legacy is what matters. If you have children with this man has to be a high value man. I'm not going to let my daughter marry a sucker or a simp or a guy who's going to
What if you
walk
don't
away
have a
from the family.
choice?
My daughter's going to marry someone who's going to be some type of champion, some type of gladiator. If I'm going to vet my daughter and raise her the right way, I'm going to tell her, listen, this man is a powerful man, and powerful men do certain things. Choose your battles and your arguments. And if you sit there and you compete, even though he's a high value man and you prove to him that you're worth every bit of his time and energy, he's going to look at everything else in life and make you the special one. Every king has always had a special queen. Every warrior, every gladiator. Tarzan even had a type of woman he dealt with. That was his number one. The point of it is for women to understand is when you get with a guy, even when you're young, you must build something so that guy never leaves you. How do you build that communication? How do you build that? I don't think women are interested in men. I don't think a lot of women are obsessed with men. I think women are dating men just because what they have and the resources. But for a relationship to be successful, for her to be successful, she must be obsessed with him and he must be obsessed with her. And then it's going to fade. Everybody else will disappear. Everybody disappear. I think if I was teaching my daughter, I would tell her, he's not going to do this for 20 years. He's not. Because if you are assisting him, helping him in every way, he's going to look at you as a prize. He's going to position you as a piece, a puzzle to his existence. Do you understand?
What if he brings her back something?
Then leave him.
Oh, okay. Then now you have a.
I mean, it's up to you how y'all want to do it. Men who are smart and have value, they're not going to be out there effing the world and bringing stuff back to their women. They just not
like Ray Charles.
Listen. That's Ray Charles. He was a whore.
12 kids.
He was but
10
that
different
made him
women.
powerful. But you can't listen. You're not going to walk away from men who are rock stars, athletes, entertainers, or all these other things and think they're not going to have options. Men who have options have value. It's the men who you guys choose who have no options that sit there and lie to you and give you simp stories and validations, all crap lies, and then they leave you when you need them the most. That's the problem with a lot of these women. Y'all being bamboozled by simps, and they are changing the world of dating. Period. Stop dating the guy who's the loser. You either date the guy who works at 7-Eleven or you date the guy that's worth millions. Guess what? It's going to be hard. Who say marriage is easy? Who says anything's easy? But if you stay with that millionaire, if you work with that millionaire, it's going to work out. And if it doesn't work, guess what? You get half. Women do it all the time. But the point of it is the women are no longer important. It's the children. If I have 4 kids with a woman, my kids is the most valuable thing. We shouldn't be arguing. We shouldn't be arguing unless it's about our children. That's what people don't understand. They having kids and still thinking they could be in nightclubs to 2, 3 in the morning while they got 4 or 5 kids at home. Or they could be talking to other men, entertaining other men. There's women out here literally having babies, pregnant, jumping in other men's cars just for opportunity.
You stupid.
That's it. I think society, social media has messed up the world. We need to get back to the real world, not fake news. So I would tell you, at the end of the day, my daughter will be vetted to be with a king, period. And kings have other issues outside of being loyal. My daughter will understand. I would teach my daughter to understand. No man, truthfully, men are not loyal. They either loyal to the family. If you're gonna find someone, it's better to date a man loyal to the family than date a man who's completely a bum. Completely. That's just a fact. If he's treating the kids good and taking care of you, he's not abusive, he's not beating you, he's making sure you clothed and fed and have a roof over your head, and you getting everything on the checklist, but he cheats here and there. Listen, it's better to deal with that than deal with a complete bum. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So if some women don't have that issue, great. But in society where America's going, they say by 2030, 72% of women will be single by the age of 30 with children. That is scary, and that is a future we should not look for. Women are our future, and we can't be having them out here being single mothers. It's the masculinity that women are becoming, and men are becoming feminine. Do you disagree with me? You're 58, and I'm not trying to put your age out there. Do you disagree with me? Thank you. Welcome to the Cash Money Dream Podcast.
I think also some of the women we've had on here, I think almost all of them actually, they all value loyalty over pretty much anything else. Like when you put it on a scale, what is more important when you're in a relationship with somebody? Them having money, them doing certain things, them not doing this and that. Loyalty seems to always outweigh it. So even if you have a man that has all the money in the world, could provide for you, you're retired, you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything else, but the fact that he has other women is still a problem, and that's a deal breaker. Is that true? Loyalty is basically the most important piece. If you got a checklist, or if you got a ranking of what's the most important thing in a man, is loyalty number one? Because that's what it seems to look like.
Honesty's number one, loyalty's number two.
And loyalty is more for the woman than the man.
Right, and so both of those go hand in hand.
I would tell all
Correct.
men, and if you're listening to me, all men, listen very well, because this show is about to end. All men must be honest to women. Honesty is number one. Loyalty for a man is over time. But for a man to love a woman, he will show loyalty. How do a man show loyalty? He provides and he gives security. How does a man show loyalty? He shows up for his children. Every time. How do a man show loyalty? He jumps in an array of bullets and protects his family. A man doesn't think. But women need to understand we're different. Our loyalty for a woman is different for a loyalty of a woman. A woman must not be a hoe. She must not be looking for other men. She must take care of the children. And if you don't have children, you should be planning to have children. You should be thinking about what the nursery is going to look like, what color the wall should be. I
think the issue, though, where there's an issue and it doesn't work out, is that the women want the same exact standards for the man.
Well, guess what?
It should be equal completely across the board.
I don't have an issue
how
with
they're
that.
looking at it. So if they have to be loyal, they can't look for anyone else. You're not allowed to either. That's the way it's looked at, and that's why it doesn't work.
And this is what I'm gonna say: if this is what women want, then 50% of women should fight the same wars. 50% of women should open my door. You want to be courted? You want to be treated like a princess and a queen? You must understand what a sacrifice of a man. Man's sacrifice. From the day we are born, we must compete. A woman don't have to compete. They can go outside literally and get any man they choose if they want it. A man must compete. He must build his value. And women don't want the guy at 7-Eleven. They want the guy who can provide and give them security and protection. Unfortunately, it's the simps that constantly marry the girl and destroys the foundation of the nuclear family, because he knew when he got in a relationship, he was never going to be loyal to you. Completely loyal. Completely. I'm not talking about loyal towards just with a woman. Loyal as far as providing security and protection. So important and critical for a family. And a lot of men don't do that. So a lot of women going to say, yeah, you know what? We want certain things, but we're not getting it. That's cool. But men and women are different. It's this way it is. And guess what? If women don't want to believe in this, the divorce rate's just going to keep rising. And there's going to be a lot of women out there by themselves. And then we'll be like China, where nobody having sex. They have the highest drop in population. That's dangerous. So it's either we fix it or we don't. But for myself, my children will sit around tables with kings. I'm never going to put myself in a position because I work too hard. I'm a hard worker. I'm never going to have my daughter marry a simp or a sucker. It's never going to happen. Ever. ever, because I'm gonna be too strong-minded for my child. I'm gonna warn them of men. I'm gonna warn them how men operate. I'm gonna let them know what to look for and what not to look for. And a lot of women don't have fathers. A lot of women have fathers and mommy issues. This is why society is lost. Men need to be men. Women need to be women. Be nurturers. Let us lead and fight wars. That's going to end the show. I appreciate you guys being on the show. She look over there a little kind of.
But I can't sit in one spot for too long. Just talking about, I'm ready.
The show's over. I appreciate y'all ladies coming on Cash Money Dream Podcast. It was an honor talking to you. I hope we can use some of this information to educate some of the women out there on certain things. We will be getting a lot of comments. Also follow her on all her information. She's trying to get rich out here. It's your boy Cash. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all our platforms. It's your boy Cash. Cash Money Dream Podcast. Thank you. Thank you for watching the Cash Money Dreams Podcast. Like and subscribe. Follow us on every platform. Stay tuned. Every week we drop in a new episode. It's your boy Cash, man.